Hey friends, I am super excited to have you here today because there is something that I am really passionate about that I'm going to be talking about today, and I have some special gifts for you to go along with today's video. So let's just kind of dive into this homeschooling through the holidays idea and what it might look like for your family. First of all, you can simply choose to not change anything about your homeschooling and just blow through the holidays, continuing to do the status quo, basically what you always do. And one reason you might choose to homeschool like that during the holidays is because you feel behind, or you're putting a child back into public school after the holidays, or you're just feeling like there's some things that you want to kind of catch up on before the new year, or maybe you perceive that there's something going to be happening after the new year that it might be a good idea for you to go ahead and just stick with the status quo and homeschool through the holidays. And that's great if that's what your family needs. The second thing you might do is to just take off the entire month, basically from right before Thanksgiving until New Year's. And that's perfectly acceptable too. A lot of people do that. However, I prefer to work the holidays into our homeschool. And there's a couple of ways you can do that as well. First of all, you can do a lot of your normal subjects that you're doing, maybe your autopilot subjects like I've talked about in a previous video. And then you just work in some of the projects for Thanksgiving and Christmas that you really enjoy, things that you've pinned to your Pinterest board. And, you just get the supplies and you do them one afternoon or on the weekends or something like that. So it's kind of an extra. Or you can completely wrap your homeschool around the holidays and make every aspect of your homeschooling during those couple of months very much all in holiday spirit. And as you can probably tell, that's what our family does. We really, really like the holidays. And so we tend to just go all in with them and plan most of our homeschooling. We just let the other subjects go to the side, and then we really work on these projects and these events and these things that we really enjoy doing during the holidays, and that's basically our school. So I do try to keep it still educational in many respects, but it's a totally different feel to it, and it might be why my kids enjoy the holidays so much. Now, here's the issue that I run into with homeschooling through the holidays and wanting to do all of those fun little seasonal projects is that I lose track of them. And then I also forget what we did from year to year. And I wish that I had a record of those. And I wish that I had a better planning system to make sure that I got the supplies that I needed and I knew where everything was, and I kind of knew what days I wanted to do things. Now, I do have a 12-week holiday planner that I use from Sherry Graham, and I've talked about that before here on YouTube, and I'll link to that as well. But what that doesn't have that I needed were some homeschool pages, some things that were specifically homeschool, because in Sherry Graham's holiday planner, you're kind of working through the holidays themselves. You're working through gifts and food and things like that. And you're kind of planning out weekly and monthly what you need to do in order to have a relaxed and peaceful Christmas. Basically, it's leading up to Christmas, but Thanksgiving is in there as well. But I needed a little bit more than that, and I always found myself just kind of adding little notes to the side, but then I'd lose track of those. And so I decided to create a product myself that was to help me and then in turn be able to offer it to you as well. So that's what I want to show you today. I want to start with the Thanksgiving planner and then kind of show you what the Christmas planner is as well. But first I want to tell you that if you like these, don't buy them separately. They're $7.99 a piece, but until New Year's Day, I've got them put together in a pack, an entire homeschool planning pack for only $10 for the two of them. So Thanksgiving and Christmas together for $10. So buy them that way. Don't buy them separately. Now, I really hope that my mic and video will pick up everything really well here so that you can see and still hear me. But first of all, it starts out with just a welcome to you and explains how to use it, because this literally becomes a keepsake for you. So what I lined out is just kind of helping you to understand how to put it together, print off as many pages as you need of each section, and then eventually what you can do is have it comb bound or put it into a binder itself and make that a keepsake from year to year. At the back of the planner pack, I have a couple of pages that help you to do just that. I have, and of course they're out of order, I have a spine label that can go on the side of the binder, and then somewhere in here I have an actual page, here it is, that has a place where you can write the date, and this could slide down in the front, or this could become the front of your page that would be comb bound then with like a clear cover over it, however you choose to keep that. But this makes a wonderful keepsake, because what I find, especially with like the holiday planner that I use, I go back to that time and time again to see what we did the year before, and there are so many memories packed into that I wanted to create something for our homeschooling that did essentially the same thing. So I explained to you how to use it, and then I go through and I have several different planning calendar pages that you can use. So there is there's a month at a glance, and then one of my favorites here is the week at a glance, and it has the notes and supplies that you might need for each week. And then this one is also a favorite of mine, because I find that it's just, I don't know, it's just one of those things I can throw up on the refrigerator and jot down notes, and it's just a weekly plan that's boxed off into days, and that way you can jot down the ideas that you have for each day, and once you have it solidified, you can write it in pen and stick it up on the refrigerator where the kids can see what you've got planned for each day. Now I have 2 full pages of Thanksgiving homeschool ideas with links that you can go and look at, just to kind of help you start thinking about how to homeschool through the Thanksgiving holiday. And then I have a brainstorming list for you to actually just start writing down your own ideas about what you'd like to see during this season of homeschooling, and some of the ideas that you have, some of the things that you've seen, where you've seen them, and just kind of pouring that out onto that page. Now, one of my favorite things about the 12-week holiday planner that I use from Sherry Graham is that she has basically a family meeting. And I wanted to bring that into my homeschool planner as well, because it has been such a beautiful part of our holiday season that I wanted to make sure that I put that in this as well. And that is the family meeting notes. And what you're going to do is you're going to sit down with your family and you're going to talk through Thanksgiving's past, ideas that they might have for this Thanksgiving, some of their favorites, some of the things that they just feel like are the essence of Thanksgiving, and just jot those down. I think you will be surprised at the memories that your children cling to and those things that are super important to you. I'll tell you a quick story. My daughter, who is now 17, remembers very clearly, she was probably about 11 or 12, and we were watching Food Network's like Thanksgiving holiday prep while we made Thanksgiving dinner. And she remembers that clear as day, to the point that every year she tries to find it on YouTube so that she can put it on while she's working with me on Thanksgiving dinner. And it has just become quite a memory for her. And so I think you'll be surprised some of the things your kids remember about Thanksgiving and some of the things that are near and dear to them. So that's what the family meeting notes are for. And then we move into the Thanksgiving celebration ideas pages, and there's 3 of those. And they have things on there like food. So what are the foods that you just equate with Thanksgiving and you know you have to have, or your family has to have? Jot those down. It's a good place to kind of start putting down a menu for the different places that you have to be. What do you have to bring to a certain celebration? And I know this isn't specifically homeschool, but you might want to bring some of those foods into your homeschool day where you're having your kids make some of those things and you're teaching them how to cook these dishes that have basically become heirloom recipes. So that's why I've included this in here. Another thing that's on here is the crafts. Those are the Thanksgiving crafts that you might be interested in doing on Thanksgiving week or on Thanksgiving Day. And I would highly encourage you to do some things that involve multi-generations. So something that grandma can do along with one of your littlest ones, and put those down in the crafts section so that it reminds you that you want to do those on Thanksgiving Day or during your Thanksgiving celebration. There's also a place for you to write down all the different gatherings and parties you will be attending during Thanksgiving season, as well as the clothing that you're going to be wearing. And this is huge for me as a large family mom because I am forever forgetting or not realizing that somebody doesn't have pants without holes and somebody doesn't have something warm to wear. It's also a good place to kind of jot down things that you need, as well as things that go together, so like clothing choices that go together. You could even paste in some ideas from Pinterest because they have those, where they have the different things that you can pull up that show what looks good in pictures, and kind of start fashioning your clothing after that. Again, I know this isn't specifically homeschool, but I wanted to include it in here so that this kind of became an all-inclusive keepsake for your Thanksgiving holiday. So that's there. The next thing is decorating. And this is something that we have done as a family for years. And it's very nice to have a record of what you decorated and where you decorated it and what it looked like, because so often I forget where I put things, and I like to have that record of where I chose to put the scarecrow, where was the cornucopia, things like that. And of course, you're bringing your family into this, so this is part of that homeschool day memory making. And then there is a section for extras, and this can be anything that maybe your family does that I haven't included in here. One thing I think definitely belongs in there are family movies, Thanksgiving movies that can go in there. So for instance, maybe you have a certain Thanksgiving movie, Charlie Brown's Thanksgiving or something like that, that you love to watch as a family. Make sure that you write that there so that you remember to watch that this year, and maybe even some ideas of how you can put a whole theme together to go around with that particular movie. Next, I have pages for supply lists and shopping lists, and then we go into another part of this that's a favorite of mine, and these are pages for giving thanks. So first of all, there's this page, and basically this is for you and your family to jot down things that you feel blessed by, ways to look for Thanksgiving blessings, things you are thankful for as a family. And that's just that page. That's personal. That's something between you and God where you can see God's hand in this past year. And then I have a page that doesn't have lines on it, and you want to just lay this out at Thanksgiving time and let your guests write in Thanksgiving blessings. They can either give a blessing to your family or mention, things that they've been blessed by this past year, things that they have seen, things that they're grateful for, and let them put down their memories here as well. I also included a page for your favorite Thanksgiving recipes, actual recipe cards. And it looks like this. These are all very easy on your printer, which I always appreciate when someone has printables. But this is a handwritten recipe card. You've got the recipe name, the ingredients, and the directions. And what I would encourage you to do, because we have truly lost the art of handwritten recipes where you actually have the cook's handwriting on that recipe, I would encourage you to do some of these yourself to pass down to your own children, laminate them or whatever it is you need to do, but also put some of these out at your Thanksgiving dinner and let your guests and your grandparents and your parents write down the recipes that are near and dear to them from Thanksgiving, or have them write down the recipes that they brought to that particular Thanksgiving gathering. It really becomes an amazing keepsake to have those. Make sure that you print out several of those pages so that you have plenty for your Thanksgiving gathering, and then you can pass those on with the cook's actual writing on the recipe cards. And then finally, I have a page for your favorite Thanksgiving memories. And you could print off a couple of these and do one just as your immediate family, but then also have one available on Thanksgiving Day when you have guests over, and let them talk through some of their favorite Thanksgiving memories and just kind of jot those down in shorthand. It will make for some beautiful memories later on. And those are the stories that are kind of untold, or we forget them. You want to have a place to remember those. And so that's what this Thanksgiving homeschool planner is meant to be. It's really meant to be a keepsake and a place that you can go back to year after year. Remember, you have the page that I lost again. You have the page that has the place where you can write the date each year there. And so you have, from year to year, you'll just put in another one that's for the next year. And you can continue to look back and have that keepsake. Now I'm just going to briefly walk you through the Christmas planner as well. It's got a lot of similarities, but there's just a few differences that I want to share with you. It has the same month at a glance and week at a glance in the weekly planner. It has the supplies list and the shopping list. It also has, again, 2 pages of Christmas homeschool ideas for you to consider in your homeschool, and a place for you to brainstorm as well your own Christmas ideas. It has the family meeting notes where you sit down with your family and you talk through your ideal Christmas, your ideal Christmas Eve, your Christmas memories, and the things that really make Christmas Christmas for your family. There's also the Christmas celebration ideas where we walk through the foods that are important to us during this time, the events that we'll be attending, the clothing that we'll be wearing, the crafts that we'd like to do. And then those extras, again, don't forget the movies. One of our favorites is to do The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, and we have a bunch of green food and Who hash, and we sit down and watch that movie every single year, and we call that our Grinch party, and that has become part of our family tradition and the fabric of our family during the holidays. And then instead of a give thanks page, I have a Christmas blessings page. And this is for you to share with your family the Christmas blessings that they've seen, the things that they've seen God's hand in throughout the year. This is the end of the year. This is a time for reflecting and realizing what Christ has done for us. And so to write those down and to see those on paper year after year is so important. Again, I have the recipe cards in there. They just have a Christmas theme instead of a Thanksgiving theme. You can see those here. Easy on the printer, again. But this makes it where you can print those out. You can lay those out during your holiday season. If somebody brings something to your house that is just amazing, make sure that they write it down for you and make that part of your keepsake. And then finally in this pack, I have Advent readings, and this is something that is near and dear to our family, and I wanted to share that with you. I have a list of just very simple short scripture that you can share with your family from the 1st of December all the way down to the 25th. And on Christmas Eve, I have a link there for you to get your own Christmas Eve candlelight service that we do as a family. We have done this for years and years and years, and you can get that through that link for free on my blog. And that way you can share that with your family as well if you would like. I also have the cover page that has a place for the date so you can bind it or put it into a binder. And if you choose to put it into a binder, I also have a spine that you can slip down into the end of the binder to show when it's on the shelf, what it is. So that is the Thanksgiving and the Christmas Holiday Homeschool Pack. And again, those are $7.99 a piece, but from now until the beginning of the year, you can get them for $10 for the pack combined. And so it really is absolutely worth it to go ahead and just get the combined pack, because I really think you're going to love the Thanksgiving pack so much that you're going to want to do it for Christmas. And we'll be doing this planner pack as well as a family. So we'll be right there alongside you doing this. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at amy@raisinarrows.net or leave a comment here. And I hope that you enjoy this holiday season. Start planning now. It's the end of October. You can start now with these ideas and start brainstorming and start thinking about the holidays and really make this a very memorable season.